It's time to chill out, get your coffee, and get your slip on. This is the Fortean Slip Daily Dose.
Oh, that kid went on a fucking hoot of a fucking adventure. No, trust me, that drug would fucking make you, like, go further than you've ever gone in a masturbatory rage.
And then they see this UFO or whatever it is, this diamond-shaped thing. So, and then 3 helicopters come whizzing in and everything takes off.
I don't know if I buy it, motherfucker. Did Bigfoot come out and tickle somebody's balls? Alright, you hooligans. Fortean Slip Daily Dose starts now.
Hello, and welcome to the Fortean Slip Daily Dose. This is episode 20. Jurassic World Origins, Volume 2. I finished Jurassic Park. 200 and something pages in a day. That was what I read. I subsequently went right into reading The Lost World, although I didn't get very far. 200 and something pages for me nowadays in a day is taxing. My neck fucking kills. Blah, blah, blah. So, the book was fucking good. It was 100 times better than the movie ever was. And usually books are. It's very rare that I have ever read something and then seen a movie and said that movie captured what was in that book far better than the book. The only one that I can think of on record in my mind right now is the Shawshank Redemption. The original story by Stephen King, Rita Hayworth, and the Shawshank Redemption. I actually read that when I was a teenager. And I thought it was a great story. I mean, long before the movie had ever come out, I read that, and I was blown away by, the triumph of this, innocent man. And then seeing the movie, it was like, wow, that was one of those movies where they really captured the heart of that story. I think not far more than the novella, because it wasn't a book, it was a novella. It was a longer, short story, but it just the movie captured it, I think, in a light that just it brought it to more readily available to people, I guess. It just really captured it. So, but I did enjoy the short story a lot, and I was surprised because it was one of those stories, as I was going through reading a bunch of Stephen King stuff at an early age, that it wasn't really a horror story. It was just a story about a man. It was a horror story in that the horrors that this man went through, but it wasn't, his typical horror story. So that's the only one that I can think of on record. I've never read The Green Mile, the actual series of books or little books or whatever the fuck they're called. I do have the entire collection, but I've never read it. I have seen the movie, and I love the movie. A little long, but I love the movie. Spoiler alert, obviously, if you don't want to know anything about the book and or movie if you live under a rock. When I had broke off in the other volume, episode, whatever you want to fucking call it, they were just going into the park. The traversing into the park definitely they see much more of the dinosaurs. They actually see the T-Rex initially before the T-Rex attack. It's a stegosaur that they run into, not a tyrannosaur that's having the health problems on the side of the road that Ellie winds up helping them with. And then the whole big thing goes down. Now, the thing with Nedry, who's played by fucking Newman, it's the only way I know his name, fucking Newman from Seinfeld, that whole thing kind of goes down a little different. It's pretty much all the same. You know, he tries to take off, he shuts the systems down, he gets killed by the Dilapa, whatever the fuck it is that spits on him. Looks really cool with the fanned out fucking things. You know, from there, to me, it takes kind of a dramatic turn from the movie. There's a lot of things that are still the same, but for the most part, the book and the movie at that point just diverge. The Tyrannosaur attack goes down completely different. The lawyer, I think it's the lawyer, in the book his name's Ed Regis, he takes off when the Tyrannosaur attacks and leaves the kids in the car. But he doesn't get eaten like in the fucking outhouse, in the shitter, like you see in the movie. Like he escapes for a short period of time. Then the whole thing goes down with the kids. Timmy goes down over the side, but the girl doesn't. And he escapes. You know, there's that whole thing with the vehicle, but it's just Timmy. And then he goes to get his sister, and they find Dr. Grant, who's like beat up because he got, you know, smacked by the T-Rex. Malcolm is somewhere in the fucking bushes because, you know, he's got a fucking broken leg. He actually got picked up in the jaws by the T-Rex and thrown. So that whole thing goes down a little different. And then there's a juvenile T-Rex in the book that's not in the movie, and it's about 8 feet tall. That thing comes out and takes out Ed Regis. Ed Regis comes out of the fucking bushes. Dr. Grant and the kids are kind of standing up the road a ways, and they watch this fucking horrific thing go down, where this T-Rex just plays with this guy and then rips him apart. I described it to somebody yesterday as fucking brutal. It was just brutal, the way it was described. And I said many times, I like the way that Michael Crichton writes after reading this book. It's really fast-paced in the way that you're able to read it. Their traversing through the park is a little different. They sleep in a storage area or something to that effect out in the park, and they traverse along a river to get back. They wind up running into the spitting dinosaurs and pterodactyls as well, and they have far more interaction with the T-Rex because it's like following them, or so it seems, back to the they're trying to get back to the visitor center, get back to everybody, because they can't communicate with anybody. The radios are all down, everything's all down. And they saw that velociraptors made it onto a boat leaving the island, and they can't communicate with anybody to let them know that they're fucking headed for the mainland. Timmy, the little kid, had seen velociraptors loose in the park, but they have all these systems that count all the animals, and all the systems are counting all the animals correctly. Well, after the big fuck up with Nedry, everything goes haywire. Well, they recheck the systems, and then all of a sudden they see way more dinosaurs than they expected. And they did bring up the frog DNA thing. That's brought up by Dr. Grant, not by the geneticist or Hammond at Jurassic Park. He brings it up because they're trying to figure out how the dinosaurs are breeding. And he's like, well, did you use frog DNA? So the frog DNA thing was brought in. However, it was only used in that DNA sequencing, the way it's described in the book, was only used on certain dinosaurs, one of which was the velociraptors, the little compies, and a few others. But those were the only ones that wound up with breeding populations. They wind up going through all of this. Like I said, there's the pterosaur thing where they're in the aviary and they get attacked by them. There's this river attack with the Tyrannosaur. You know, they get back, and then that's when the Velociraptor, like the whole time, I was expecting to see a little bit more of the Velociraptor in the book, but literally it just doesn't go full on with the Velociraptor until the very end. And then they are attacking or trying to attack everybody at the visitor center. And they're trying to get the power back on. That whole dynamic is still a little the same, a lot different. Everybody's separated. They're really trapped. Dr. Grant's the one that turns on the power. Timmy's the one that figures out the fucking computer systems and turns everything back on so that they have the fences are working again and everything. But yeah, you know, and it all comes back together. Everything's good. They wind up tranking the Tyrannosaur. The geneticist winds up biting it. Hammond winds up biting it. He breaks his leg and gets eaten by the little dinosaurs, which I thought was kind of funny. You know, no like quick get ripped open and eviscerated by a, you know, velociraptor or chomped on by a T-Rex. He just fucking fell down, broke his fucking leg, and got bitten by the little dinosaurs to death. So I thought that was pretty cool. The ending of the book I kind of had a problem with. I'm usually like that with books anyway. I get to the end and I'm like, fuck. Because how do you really wrap up a book a lot of times? And I'm sure authors have that issue. So I don't like to be too judgmental about it because it's probably a fucking difficult undertaking to begin with. But they get to the end of the book and for some reason they're going to napalm the island. We're going to kill everything. But we got to go count how many fucking velociraptors actually hatched in a fucking nest. Dangerous shit. We have to. Right? That I didn't quite get. And you find out at the end that there are more dinosaurs that have made it to the mainland than the compies. All in all, I fucking loved the book. I really did. I enjoyed it a lot. It was way better than the movie. It was one of those times where even though I'd seen the movie, I didn't relate the people in the book to the characters in the movie for some reason. They took on a life of their own for me, which was really kind of cool. So it was kind of like a different experience than the movie. I was expecting it to be like the movie played out as the book. So I did start The Lost World, and I intend to read right through that because I want to check it out and see the differences there. I did not like The Lost World, the movie, at all. I fucking hated it. It was atrocious. I loved the original Jurassic Park. When I went to see The Lost World, I was just so disappointed in what they put on the fucking screen. And then Jurassic Park 3 as well. Just didn't do anything for me. So, if you like reading books, check out fucking Michael Crichton's shit. I'm going to check out, obviously, The Lost World. And I think I'm going to, at some point, probably not right off, but I'm going to read Sphere. Because I like that. That movie's kind of weird, but I'm really interested to see what his book was all about. Because after reading Jurassic Park, I think I'll enjoy it quite a bit. This has been the Fortean Slip Daily Dose, episode 20. I came in like an Eeyore and went out like an asshole episode. If you like this shit, hit the like button. If you don't, hit the thumbs down button. Leave a comment. Subscribe. Even if you don't like it, I don't give a fuck. Hit that subscribe button.